Hi. Welcome back to Everything Explained in 5 Minutes, the podcast that makes the world make sense, one topic at a time. Today, we're diving into something that sounds niche, but actually powers your entire modern life: rare earth elements. And the tension between the US and China over who controls them? It's heating up. Let's start with the basics. Rare earth elements, or REs, are a group of 17 metals that are essential for building things like electric cars, wind turbines, smartphones, lasers, military jets, and even missiles. So yeah, pretty important stuff. Now here's the twist. Despite being called rare, they're actually pretty common in the Earth's crust. The real problem is that they're rarely found in concentrations high enough to be mined easily. And when you do mine them, processing them is dirty, complicated, and expensive. That's where China comes in. Over the past 3 decades, China made a strategic choice: dominate the rare earth supply chain. And they did. Today, China produces around 70% of the world's rare earths and controls nearly 90% of the refining and processing. This gives China a powerful geopolitical card because most countries, including the US, depend on those elements to build high-tech goods and defense systems. Now, here's what's been happening lately. Tensions between China and the United States have escalated, especially around trade, tech, and national security. And rare earths are right in the middle of it all. In recent months, China announced new export restrictions on certain rare earth processing technologies, citing national security. The US, on the other hand, has been pushing hard to reduce its dependence. It's launched initiatives to boost domestic production, reopening mines like Mountain Pass in California, and investing in new refining capabilities, something the US largely outsourced decades ago. At the same time, Washington is looking beyond its own borders, trying to build partnerships with friendly countries like Australia, Canada, and Sweden, all of which have rare earth reserves and are now considered crucial to the Western tech supply chain. But let's be real, building a full alternative to China's rare earth dominance isn't easy. It's not just about mining. It's about the whole value chain, from raw or to processed metal to the tiny magnet that powers your iPhone speaker or your electric car motor. And China still holds a massive advantage. It's faster, cheaper, and more experienced at doing all of this. Plus, it can play the long game, using rare earths as leverage in trade negotiations or tech disputes. So why does this all matter? Because we're heading into a future where energy transition and high-tech are everything, and rare earths are the backbone of both. Batteries, wind farms, satellites, fighter jets, they all need them. If the US and its allies can't secure stable, diversified access to these materials, they risk being vulnerable to political pressure or, worse, sudden shortages. The good news? There's movement. The European Union is exploring new deposits. Norway recently made headlines with a huge discovery, and private companies are racing to innovate cleaner, more efficient refining processes. The bottom line? Rare earth elements aren't just about geology, they're about power. And right now, the global competition over who controls them is shaping the future of energy, tech, and even geopolitics. That's it for this week's episode of Everything Explained in 5 Minutes. If you liked this, share it with a friend who thinks minerals are boring. Because honestly, rare earths are kind of rock stars. See you next time.